Hello everyone, welcome to the Career Center's Major in Career Exploration presentation. This is going to be available to you online. This is our online tool series, and today we're going to be doing some deep exploration into selecting a major and perhaps even looking at a possible career. Our agenda for the day, we're going to start with some career exploration, and then we're going to move into some major exploration, discuss some strategies, and perhaps create a plan for you to take action on. And finally, I'm going to connect you with some resources to take an assessment. So for those of you that have already come into the CSU, to Sac State, having selected a major, how did you pick your major? So go ahead and pause here and spend a few minutes considering how you did that, and then unpause and we'll resume. All right, now that you've come up with a few reasons why you selected your major, that could be anything from, you picked your major because you know someone who was this major before, perhaps it aligned with your interests when you were in high school. Maybe it's a major that aligns with a future occupation that you know you want to work towards, and it could be anything. But what's essential here is that you know where that's coming from and you know the origin of that interest for you to be able to use that information to assess future things, assess future goals, as well as make decisions on how to get there. So we're going to do another activity, and for that activity, I'd like you to grab a piece of paper and fold it in half this way, the long way first, and then you're going to fold it in half again, leaving you with 4 spaces. And then these 4 spaces, you're going to answer each of these questions here on the screen. So first, if you could list classes or activities you enjoyed most in high school, and then list 2 to 3 hobbies or activities that you enjoy, 1 to 3 life experiences or activities you enjoy most, as well as maybe discuss any natural strength that your family or your friends would say that is natural to you or that comes natural to you. So go ahead and start filling it out in here, and then spend like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll resume, okay? Go ahead and pause. All right, now that you're back, essentially each section gets to something different about your interests and your personality, okay? So the classes that you selected, hopefully you also consider how well you did in those classes, not only that you enjoyed them, but your academic achievements, right? So that's something that's going to be important in your exploration because it's going to inform how you're going to do in hopefully your future classes, right? And then also it speaks to like the type of classes that you enjoy most and you thrive in the most. Your hobbies or your activities that you enjoy most, that's going to speak to what you're passionate about. What are some things that you need in your future job, in your future day-to-day? If you love playing sports, then maybe something that would be good for you is to be active and be outside or things like that, okay? Your 1 to 3 life experiences. What other activities are you passionate about? Do you need in your daily life? And how would your family and your friends describe you and your natural talents, okay? If you bring that all together, you can consider potential occupations, potential majors that may be a good fit, right? So I know it can be a little bit difficult to see it from like an outside perspective, especially when you're assessing yourself. But if there's maybe a friend or a sibling, a family member that can take a look at it and maybe even recommend some occupations, or you could take a look at this objectively. If you saw this list and you didn't know this person that was responding on here, what would you suggest for this person to consider before they make their decision on what path to go into? Consider that, okay? So next is going to be career and exploration resources. Whoops. And one thing that I always share with my students is to consider the jobs that you'd be happy obtaining, careers that you think are important, that you want to explore. And there's different platforms that you could do this on. And I'm going to check out one of them over here. And we're going to take a look at Handshake. But we're going to go through the Sac State one, okay? So Handshake is a really cool platform. There's very similar ones like LinkedIn, where you can see like professional profiles. And essentially what's great about this is that it tells you what is available out there in terms of the workforce. What kind of jobs are out there in my community? What kind of jobs like would be available to me? How much do they pay? What do their job descriptions look like? Those are all things you can find through here. And that's important to me because essentially I know that I'd want to know what I would be doing day to day, okay? So you could definitely take a look at different occupations, put them in here. You could take a look at the Occupational Outlook Handbook, which does something similar. It provides occupation, job summaries, and as well as tell you a little bit about the education, right? So Handshake, along with like Indeed and like those job force platforms, will also tell you education level. What's different about doing a search on a platform like Handshake is that this is live what is available in the current workforce, okay? But this is also another resource, the Occupational Handbook. And this is found here, okay? Cool. So knowing what occupation you could potentially go into will help inform a lot of things that happen with your future here at Sac State. So keep that in mind. All right, so exploring a major. There's different resources that we have available to you through the Career Center, including what I can do with this major. This is the website, and I can show you what that looks like. Looks like this. My internet's a little slow today. So essentially, you can view different types of majors and categories, and then you can click to see different majors as well as occupations that align with those majors. And I know for some of you, you may have multiple interests, maybe multiple majors that you're interested. Others of you will have occupations that you're interested, but don't necessarily know how to get there. At the Career Center, we have assistance for everyone. So come with questions. So you could take a look at Focus 2. Focus 2 is another resource through the Career Center. It's a platform that serves us as an assessment. So essentially, it's a like a questionnaire that takes like your values and your interests, academic interests, and puts it all together and connects you with a potential major that's offered at Sac State. And it tells you like the pay. It also tells you other descriptions about the positions that the jobs that are available that align with that, okay? So there's also the University Handbook, which is a list of like all the majors on campus. And another thing that I recommend is the California Career Zone, which is a really student-friendly, colorful, and informative platform that I use with my students very regularly. It's very similar to the Occupational Handbook, but as you can see, it's a lot more like friendly looking, okay? So with that, I always recommend that if you are interested in occupation, if it's possible for you to pick several majors that may be aligned. If you are flexible, that would be a good option, right? If there's like an occupation that you're interested in, perhaps you want to be like in like sports marketing. There's different ways to get there, right? So that's something that we can discuss for you to be flexible and perhaps like having different majors that may be a good fit. Maybe some of you are going to have different experiences, and I know that there's something to offer all of you students through the Career Centers. Stop by. All right, so this is Plan to Act. So essentially what I want you to know is that through our work together, it's important that you assess yourself, you assess your interests, your passions, your values, and you identify themes in those values, and in those particular themes will tell you something about who you are and what you're looking for in your future career, in your future work. Okay, with that, knowing those themes, it's also really important to research, and through this presentation we've provided some really great platforms for you to be able to start that research, and we can assist with that as well, one-on-one. But essentially, you also need to decide, right? You need to make that decision, and make a commitment to move towards one major in particular. And with that, sometimes you need support from family members, from whoever it may be, but that's ultimately your choice. And here at the university, at 60 units, you need to make a decision. And we're happy to help you navigate that prior to, hopefully, for you to make a choice. Okay? So once you are here at the university, you may likely be part of a program that requires an internship. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're looking to find a job as soon as possible. And we're also thinking that hopefully you find a job that aligns with your future work, because that'll only help clarify if that's the right field for you. So please stop by and we can help you with this. We actually have career fairs that are geared just towards internships. So stop by, okay? Finally is informational interviews. So with kind of what it sounds like, right? So you're gathering information from a particular person. For those of you that want to learn about particular majors, a great source for an informational interview may be a department chair. Why would that be? Probably because the department chair has information about the major, about what's offered, about internships that may be aligned, and things like that. So that's definitely a great person to talk to in terms of doing an informational interview to learn about a major. Now, similarly, if you're interested in learning about a particular career or occupation, it's important that you do informational interviews with people in the field. And a great source for that might be LinkedIn. Okay, so some of you may have already started a LinkedIn profile. Some of you may need to go back and make adjustments, but essentially, doing interviews with people in the field is going to help you clarify whether that's the field you want to be in. So like we talked about, assessing oneself, assessing the themes and the work that we want to do, that we've done, that we're passionate about. It's always important that we talk to people about those interests and see if that information is correct for them. Perhaps something that we'd want to ask if a person that has a job that we want to have is how much money they make, if they're willing to share with you their education background. And it's important to learn about the different ways that people take to arrive at their final destination, at that particular position that they're at. What you will find is that there's many ways to get to one place. So make sure you do informational interviews. We have different assessments for you here at the Career Center. Please make sure to take advantage of these. I know for some of us, it could be a little bit tough to take time to do an assessment, but it's very important to be in that space that we talked about, the assessment, and this is going to identify themes for us. Sometimes it's hard for us to make the connection, but this will do it for us, right? So finding those themes in the work that we do, in our interests, and making an alignment between things that maybe we didn't see necessarily or we didn't consider. So stop by and take one of these interest inventories. We're more than happy to guide you through that. And finally, through this, right now it's March 2020. So we have Zoom appointments, but we plan to continue to have these available to you. We are available Monday through Friday from 10 to 4 p.m. at the Career Center. Schedule an appointment and we're more than happy to connect with you and answer any questions you may have regarding career exploration and assessment and all that great stuff. So reach out. My name is Alina once again, and we'll talk very soon.